There we go. That's better. Hey everybody, sorry about that. I'm trying to get everything set up. My desk is really overcrowded today. I got a whole lot of stuff sitting on it, and I really shouldn't have this much junk sitting on my desk, but that's okay. Anyway, I tried to do this video a few minutes ago, and I screwed some stuff up, and so I'm restarting the video again. Anyway, this is welcome to Lilly Sketchpad, brought to you by Force One Studios, obviously. I'm the artist, Tom Lilly. Anyway, I found this image that I started a while ago. It's practicing my inks, and I needed to warm up because I haven't drawn anything in a while, and because I've been worried more about everything else and doing videos and stuff like that. So I got to get some stuff done in my art because there's some books I want to complete that I want to do for myself, and so I figured the best way to warm up is do what I was doing before, which was I got this image off of Elliot Fernandez, bought it off of Gumroad. If you check it out for yourself, he has these images on there that he sells where you can practice your ink skills, and that's what I'm doing here. Practicing, going over some stuff that he's done and practicing my own skills, trying to improve upon what I do. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Guess I should tilt this a little bit more so you guys can see me while I'm working. Not that I have that great of a puss to be looking at anyway, right? I'm trying to interpret his style a little bit and how he did things, and he's obviously far better an artist than I am, but at least I enjoy his style far more than my own. They always say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. There should be. There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. My tilt. Lately, I've been using my Huey on. That's what I have, a Huey on. But lately, I've been using my Huey on more as a second monitor than a drawing surface, which is not what I intended it for. I wanted to draw it because I wanted to figure it would make things easier. This way everybody's going to these days is let me make this smaller and make the image bigger, shall we? There we go. Come on. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. I got it backwards. Not quite that far, huh? How about I use my Huey on for this? There we go. I keep forgetting my Huey on's got all these wonderful little gizmos for zooming in and stuff. I've never owned a Cintiq. A lot of people swear by Cintiqs. I just can't afford it, and I don't want to buy somebody else's used Cintiq. You don't know what headaches you were buying. So I saw some on eBay. I could have afforded if I bought them, but they were used, and I was like, no, I don't want to buy somebody else's headache. Somebody else, they say it works perfect, and then you get it, and there's something wrong with it. Whereas there's a reason why they're getting rid of it, right? Unless they're just, I gotta update because I gotta be the newest guy on the block. I'm sort of a similar way, but just not with Cintiq. I bought this Huion. Started out with a Huion GT191. I gave that to my son. I went with this Huion, this newer version of Huion. It's a 24. And wow. One thing I really like about it is I don't have to charge the pen. The pen doesn't have a battery, which is spectacular. Works just as good as the other pen, but there's no need to charge. Somebody explain that one to me. Even has all the side keys and all that, and it's like, forgive the mess behind me a little bit over here. I would put my banner up, but I'm only planning on being on here for a half hour. And my wife has got everything pulled out of this cabinet. She's an interior designer, and she designs. If you guys want to check it out, diestudiosdesigns.com. I'll include a link in my description if you guys want to check out her stuff. If you're into decorating your home, making your home look nicer, getting a nice, wonderful little gift for your mother or wife or whatever, she designs these decorative pieces that go in people's homes. She's really, really good. But right now she's refinishing one of our pieces of furniture that she uses as a cabinet to keep some of her pieces in. So there's, right now she had stuff all over the table, the dining room table. Now what she's got on our center cabinet in the kitchen is stuff for it. She's staining the legs that are supposed to go on the cabinet. I'm gonna stop gabbing so much and just draw. Hope y'all don't mind the music. It's just some free music that I downloaded off of the YouTube. Copyright free music. Wow, I am really, truly rusty. So, I am literally just trying to overcome the arthritis in my hands. I'm literally just trying to warm back up and get myself back into this. And also get me prepared because I'm going to be doing some sketch covers for those that you might be interested. me get in close on this because I think for some reason I'm getting some. Yeah, I'm swiping wrong. Let me go in here and clean this up a little bit. I'm getting these overdrafts in here. That's me be getting sloppy. That's what happens when you don't draw for a while. And for those of you that are wondering, how the heck can you go without drawing for a while? You're an artist. It's called anxiety, depression, and numerous other things. I haven't done a whole lot of video work. I haven't done a whole lot of anything. I've been trying to get myself straightened out up here. It's not been an easy battle. I don't know if you guys are familiar, if you watch the CBI videos, but I talk about it. I get these horrible hives developing from my anxiety. This whole past year's events has really affected me. I was one of the poor suckers who caught COVID. And while I have survived, my mother, who has also had some COVID, my father-in-law, or stepfather-in-law, not my stepfather-in-law, my stepfather, sorry. He caught COVID, and apparently they're suffering long-term effects, and my mother, for some reason, thinks that maybe I am too. That the reason why I'm getting all these problems now, developed after COVID, is that I'm suffering from long-term effects from the exposure of COVID. I'm not sure. I'm trying not to think about it. I'm just trying to move on and start walking, exercising, trying to get my mind right. And docs prescribed some anti-anxiety medication to try to help me along with that. But I think the anti-anxiety medications actually I was thinking that's what's causing the hives. First medication they put me on actually made my anxiety worse. The second one they put me on started breaking me out in hives. And the third one I'm still breaking out in hives. Yeah. That is my oldest son in the background there, messing around in the kitchen. Christian, you don't mind being in the video, do you?
No, I don't really care.
So, there you go. For those of you who may be wondering, I'm using a smooth brush on the, it's called a smooth brush in the Cintiq. It's one of the brushes that came with the software. I did download really cool brushes from, you guys can check this out too, Jimmy Reyes. He's a professional inker. He's worked for Marvel and DC. He's currently got his own book out called Dragon Rage. Or actually, he's part of a collaboration group. I think it's called Page One Comics. And check out his book, Dragon Rage. You can, I don't know if you still can or not. They might have closed it, but you were able to get in for a second time because I missed the first time because I didn't know about it. The book looks really awesome. The artwork looks spectacular. But he he had it on Indiegogo, and then he offered a second chance for those that missed out on the first time. So I went ahead and got in on that one, and I got my book, and I'm ecstatic over it. And the story looks really cool, and they're working on book 2. And the cool thing of it is, before they even start the Patreon, apparently they try to get the book done first. Then they start the Patreon account to publish it. Instead of saying, "Hey, we're coming out with this book, we're doing it," or they try to make sure they get most of it done anyway, which is what I want to do with my books. I want to be able to make sure that I fulfill on a timely basis with my stories. So when I do my own crowdfunding campaigns for my books, I want to make sure that the book's mostly done. Maybe only something like the coloring or lettering, stuff like that, in which case I might, if the book does well, I can bring somebody in professionally to do all that fun stuff. But let's zoom out, shall we? I am really close in on some of this stuff. Now, the image didn't come in blue. I had changed the color of the pencil work that Elliot had on here to blue using a filter, obviously, and using a mask. And then I lightened it a little bit. Obviously, his work is very strong. He does some incredible work. I got a section of my wall literally dedicated to Elliot Fernandez's artwork. If you ever want to see what I'm talking about, you can check him out on Instagram. He posts stuff regularly on Instagram. He also too has a campaign. He's worked on a book, and he's working on a book right now. It's a bit behind schedule, but he's working on it, trying to get it done. But you still can get involved in the campaign if you want. It's called Doom Kicker. Written by Doug Naples, illustrated by Elliot Fernandez. It looks pretty cool. I'm a part of the campaign. Let's Command Z that bad boy. There we go. I wanted 2 lines, not one thicker line. Of course, sometimes it's best just to leave it alone because, hey, it's what naturally happens. Some people say, but I don't know. If I didn't intend for it, I'll Command Z that thing in a heartbeat. Bring this around. Like that. Didn't intend for that. Want it closer down. And that's because my wrist movement has been restricted because I'm starting to suffer from arthritis, I noticed lately. Especially in my pinky finger, down in here, but it's affected my whole wrist movement. Years of doing everything but what I love to do, artwork. that I'm not really worried about speed and completing this thing, because this is warm up and practice. This is just so that I can develop my skills a little better and create a video to entertain you wonderful, kind folks who are watching. But that ear is really contorting it a little bit there, ain't it? It's almost like it's melting. Of course, it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's only a small picture of the whole, only a small piece of the whole. But sometimes those small pieces can be important because it defines the rest of the image. So while you don't have to make it all look great, keeping it within a certain respectable level of detail can be important. I can always use my bucket tool to go pop. There you go. Easy fill, right? That's the spit on the mouth from the agonizing pain of transforming into... Can you imagine? I thought about that one time. Just imagine the massive amount of pain you would have to go through to transform into the Hulk. Your body twisting and bending, your bones, they have to be breaking while they're growing. I don't know if any of you guys can remember what it was like when you were teenagers, when we're going through a growth spurt and your joints and your knees and your legs would just hurt, and parts of your body would just hurt. You get these cramps because your body was growing at such a massive rate. It actually caused physical pain. And I completely forgot about that part of my youth until I saw my sons going through it. Then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember. Oh, it'd be painful. I got 3 sons, and they, like me, they were not very tall until they got into their teenage years, and then all of a sudden they went through a huge growth spurt. Oh, except for my youngest, he's still growing. He's worried he's not going to grow as much as his brothers or I. Which is possible because we do have short people in our family. But I keep telling him, be patient. He's only 17. There we go. Good. I'm going to go in there and clean it up a little bit. The edges there. Fill it in a little bit more. There we go. Let me go. Let's check this out up here. Man, I just don't like the way I did this right here. I don't think I gave the proper respect that Elliot did on this eye over here. It kind of looks wonky. I think I messed it up. There we go. That's a little better. It's not great, but it's a little better. Again, I'll put a link down in the description below. I've done this video several times while I'm doing warm-ups, but I'll put a link down below. Let you guys, if you want to get on there, on his Gumroad account, and get one of these images for yourself. He does a couple of them. He's got a couple of them on there. And I always believe in supporting our artists out there. After all, I am an artist myself. I've just chosen to try to feed my family through a regular day job. These gentlemen are braver than I am, I guess, in some way, because they're braving the cold elements out here and making a living, feeding their families doing this. Struggling, many of them. There's no joke when it comes to, not every artist is super popular or super famous. There's a reason why that term, struggling artist, exists. Because a lot of artists do. A lot of really good artists, talented artists. Got about 11 minutes left. This is fun. Starting to feel like a creator again. Not that I created this, but I'm taking over somebody else's work. What's up? You afraid to be in a video?
No, I know you're live streaming. I don't want to make any noise while you're live streaming.
Ah, you can. I'm not live streaming. I'm recording. But it doesn't matter. It's just me doing some practice drawing, so I don't mind if people make any noise. You can go ahead. I got my headphones on to keep me from getting too annoyed. Noise. Just as long as you don't mind being in the video. That is my second oldest son. As I said, I had 3 sons. That was my boy Matt, the mechanic. His art form is through cars. He loves working on cars. One day wants to open his own custom shop. I've always told my boys you can do anything you put your mind to it, but it takes hard work. You've got to put in the work to do it. Nothing ever comes easy for most of us. There are a couple of examples of people out there who, for some reason, just like fell into it. But that's not the norm. The majority of us have got to work our butts off to get what we want. Make sacrifices. Lots of sacrifices. I just swore when I was younger that I was never going to make my family suffer for my ability, for my talent. I didn't want them to be starving, suffering, so I worked elsewhere until to make the money. Doing other things. There have been a lot of things, because one thing I didn't think about when you're working, doing something you don't like doing, is you don't like doing it, and eventually you get so frustrated with it, you got to move on. So I did a lot of moving around, guys. A lot of moving around. I went. See, what have I done? I was a certified nursing assistant for a while. Did that for 3 years. That broke my heart, because you work in a nursing care facility, and you're basically making somebody's life easier in their final years, but it's just dealing with the death. That was hard. I'm not gonna lie. I could only take it for so long. And then, see what else? I was, went and became a route sales rep for a uniform company for a period of time. Did that for about 7 years. Then I, became a car salesman. Not the highlight of my future, but I did, or my life, but I did it. Did what I had to make an income for my family. I was a car salesman for several years. Became a finance manager. Moved around a couple of dealerships. Then I ended up in the transportation industry, working for a limousine motor coach outfit. Kept trying to find ways to improve my situation to make more money so I could provide better for my family. So I started out in black car sedan work and got my CDL while I was there so I could drive buses, because I realized that there was more money driving buses than just driving the regular sedan cars. Then I realized I was busting my hump and out there on the road moving around, and dispatchers inside were making about as much money, if not a little bit more than me, and they were sitting in an office. So I was like, hey, that's where I need to be. Easier work, easier environment. I don't have to deal with the road rage. So I became a dispatcher, and then I made a mistake of making a comment one day on how poorly the new drivers the new drivers were being trained, and it was, next thing I know, they told me I was making a lateral move. Congratulations, Mr. Lilly. If you think they're not doing a great job, not being trained right, no, you're going to be the training. So I became a training supervisor. I slowly eased my way from training supervisor to compliance, safety, risk assessment. I was doing all those at one time, by the way. And then accounts receivable. I was doing that while I was doing all the other jobs as well. Yeah. Then the crash of 2008 happened, and the company I was working for lost a lot of its business because businesses were doing away with, that was majority of our clientele, businesses were doing away with the perks and luxuries like black car sedans and stuff like that, and people moved in them, and the company I was working for folded. Well, it kind of folded. They closed up shop, filed bankruptcy, closed up shop, and then opened up a new shop, but too far away from me at the time to go. I would have had to travel 2.5 hours to get to work every day. And then started working at a nursing care facility again, but as a driving buses for them, but it was only temporary. But they liked me so much, they tried to find a way to keep me in there, so I ended up working reception and security and filling in on buses when the other two people they had couldn't do nights or weekend work. And while I was there, somebody suggested I put in an application with SEPTA, Southeastern Pennsylvania Transit Authority, and that's where I currently work as my day job. As you can tell, I've had a rich life. Seen a lot, done a lot. My wife and I were just talking and just realized she's never been to Manhattan. Never been to New York. She's driven around it, driven through it once, but she's never actually been in New York. So I told her I'm going to take her on a trip to do that one day. Maybe go down and see the Met Museum. Take her down to Central Park. About 1 minute, my alarm's going to go off and tell me, hey, you got to go get ready for work, mister. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. Let's just guys see what I've done so far. There we go. That's what I've done so far. That's my alarm. Alright. It's just me warming up. I'm not trying to break the world here and move super fast and try to make history here. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me here on Lilly Sketchpad. Also, you can check me out on Comic Book Insiders by Force One Studios. This is another channel I have on here. I have 3 channels. All right, also books to back. I'll be doing some more videos on books to back. I took a break from that for a little bit, but you'll be seeing those as well. If you can go to that, I would appreciate if y'all subscribe. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Where are we at? All right, there you go. Hey everybody, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification button, and if you could, like and share the video. What do you guys think of that? Anyway, yeah, feel free to go over to check that out. Also, I have original art up on Force One Studios force1studios.com/store. Just go to my website. There's a store on my website at force1studios.com. But I'll leave all links in the description below when I post this video. Thank you very much for joining me. It is time for me to rock and roll. I got to get ready for work. Y'all have a nice one now. Bye. Uh-oh. What did I do my end credit scene for Lilly Sketchpad, huh? I do have an end credit scene. There we go. A little out of practice making these videos.